How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to some more Animal Crossing Wild World, which I've not played for quite a long time on the channel, but I thought for today's video, since the other day I did the video on how I got New Leaf, I thought I would just tell the story on how I got into Animal Crossing in general, because the GameCube version was not my first game. In fact, that in the Nintendo 64 version, which I believe is called Animal Forest. I think, aren't they all Animal Forest in Japan? I don't know how that all works, but my first Animal Crossing game, it was not Wild World, even though I'm playing Wild World, but it was actually Animal Crossing City Folk way back in 2009, and this was around the good old Wii years. I believe we had gotten a Wii the summer of 2008, if I'm not mistaken, from GameStop, I think. Just one of the days, my dad picked it up because I think my mom and dad were planning on surprising me and my brothers with it, so he picked it up, and I guess this is more than just Animal Crossing for this part, but came with Wii Sports. What was that one called? Was it Wii Play? Something like that. And then we got Sonic in the Legend of the Something Rings, I think it was called. But anyways, that is when we got the Wii, and I believe we got Animal Crossing City Folk around January of 2009. And this video is probably not going to be very entertaining gameplay wise, unless you guys just want to watch me pull weeds, which is basically going to be all I do, but because I struggle with talking and playing at the same time. But anyways, it was around January 2009, and I want to say one of my mom's friends at work, yeah, I believe that's how it came to be, told her about Animal Crossing City Folk, and um, so first off, in terms of like the farming, outdoorsy sort of games, another game that my mom was recommended, or I think one of her coworkers actually got her, was Harvest Moon Tree of Tranquility, which later became one of my favorite game series of all time. The Harvest Moon series, or story seasons nowadays. So I don't know how exactly she's feeling about it, but she decided to pick it up, and turns out right off the bat she really liked it. I remember just playing around the TV, or sitting around the TV watching her play. And then my brother and I always kind of wanted to make our own profiles, so we eventually did get our chance to make our profiles. Now, at the time, I was not very good at Animal Crossing, just like saving bells, whatnot, just getting currency in any form. I just kind of like decorating, and was hoping my mom would pay off my house and stuff, because, let's see, 2009, I would have been just turned 9. December 2008, January 2009, so I would have just been a fresh new 9-year-old. So I was not very familiar um, with how Animal Crossing works, and I was not a very strong reader at the time yet either. So my mom ended up basically making all the money. And this was back in the day when I guess more common folk weren't really accustomed to using guides or anything on the internet, because we didn't really have just, I guess, the thought to go online to look up how to do stuff very often. Now, a year or two later, we eventually did. My brother actually printed out a guidebook for the game. I think it was from GameFAQs, but it just told everything that you need to know about the game and stuff. But for the most part, all my mom did was the fishing, bug catching, and getting all the fruit. So she got us all money that way, and she got our houses built for us, like fully expanded and everything. So that was really nice, because I really enjoyed the decorating parts of it, and I was not too big on sort of like, I don't know. Would you consider that normal play, selling fruits and stuff? I don't know, but I was not really the biggest fan of playing that way. I just liked all the decorating and stuff. Over time, like in the much later years, I did kind of get a feel for that. But for this time, 2009, I just liked the house being bigger, for my mom paying off the loans, and my other brother, she paid off his loans as well. So that was nice. And they were still getting the We Connect 24 letters as well, so that was really cool, because for whatever reason, I was always fascinated by those online letters, and it was always exciting, because I would play, I would say pretty regularly at the time, usually on weekends, though. I didn't really play during the week a whole lot at that time. And I just love getting those letters. And I did end up playing with my mom's friend, actually using the Wii Speak, which is a piece of ancient technology, which I still actually have. It's connected to my current Wii because this Wii that I did have back in the day, a disc reader went out, and my brother attempted to fix it and couldn't fix it, and actually threw out, what is it, the hard drive or something like that. So everything about that Wii and that old Animal Crossing City Folk Town is gone. But thankfully, we have the welcome, or not welcome, luxury. That's a throwback. City Folk Deluxe now, so I can live the dream that way, I suppose. But yeah, for City Folk, I was not really a casual player. I guess I was a casual player. I don't know what you define hardcore Animal Crossing player as. I guess someone who plays every day for the most part. I don't really know. But anyways, City Folk for the time being just was not the biggest game for me. Then it was, I want to say, probably around fall of 2009 when I actually got Animal Crossing Wild World. Now, interesting thing about this was, I think, wasn't Wild World a 2005 game? I think it was, but GameStop actually still had a new copy of the game in 2009, so I don't remember how DS game sales worked. Um, I guess nowadays you can still find new copies of games for the Nintendo Switch and whatnot that came out in like 2017, so I guess it's not that big of a difference in. I don't remember Animal Crossing being that very popular of a title at the time, at least in America, because people in school didn't really talk about it. They talked about their Wii's and whatnot, but I guess they didn't really talk about Harvest Moon either, so. But there at GameStop, there's a new copy, and I actually have it right by me, still the GameStop sticker. It says $34.99, brand new. So, I used my allowances, and I bought it, and I was very, very bored of the game, like, really quickly. Like, I just didn't have the greatest interest. I don't know why exactly, but it just did not appeal to me like City Folk did. I know a lot of people say they prefer Wild World over City Folk, but I just could not get into this game to save my life. Now, a few years later, I did have a friend that played Wild World, so that kind of inspired me a bit more to play. And I think wasn't Wild World the one that you needed someone to spend money in your Nook store so you could get it to the what was that final Nook upgrade called? The one with the second floor. I don't remember what it's called, but he came over and then I got that unlocked, the second floor, so I was really happy about that. And I actually think I do have the second floor in my house. I don't want to check because I'm probably going to lose my train of thought, so we'll just pretend I do. So after playing with him a few times, because he did come over and play, because this was after the servers shut down, I think. When did the DS servers shut down? Was that? Okay, maybe it wasn't after the DS servers shut down, because I think this was 2014. I don't remember when those Animal Crossing and whatnot. Was that earlier? I can't remember, but for whatever the reason, we did local play. Might have been something to do with our routers, because they're higher security than what the game allows. Something like that. So I played Wild World for a little bit after that, and just got kind of bored of it, you know. Didn't really see any interest in playing anymore. And plus, I think this would have been around. So New Leaf came out in 2013, so this must have been before 2014 then. So I think, gotta remember what grades I was in. I want to say it might have been 2012 or so. That I must have been 2012 when I played with him, because I don't think I had New Leaf yet. And then previews for New Leaf started coming around, and I think I've mentioned some of this in my How I Got New Leaf video. But there's previews for New Leaf coming out, and I know I wasn't the biggest player of this game, and not necessarily City Folk either, besides the like weekend playthrough that I would do. There's a weird sound coming from outside. I don't know what that is. So I would play City Folk a bit more, getting myself hyped up for New Leaf, and I don't know what sparked the interest. I guess it just might have been the fact that I was getting older, but we didn't pre-order New Leaf, and I'm just gonna skip through this. My mom actually got it from Best Buy, so once it came out, I would play this game, New Leaf, like every single day. It was just, it was my summer game. I would spend pretty much every night a club tournament, and I still do want to do a club tournament video on there. Um, and I actually time traveled a whole lot my first day, to the point I think I had the second floor and the basement on my first day. And this was by I think it was Reggie's tip video, because I think that video just came out. The one where he has the TV that looks like the apple. Still remember that. Yeah, that was awesome. I really like that video he did. It's a shame he's gone from Nintendo, but maybe someday they'll find a spot for him. But pretty much regularly, I would play New Leaf every day. At the time, I didn't really focus on getting my badges, which I did eventually become a completionist and get all my badges April 9th, which I think my TPC says all badges April 9th or something like that. But that was in 2019. And I just pretty much. Oh, there's a balloon up there. Let me see if I have a slingshot. There we go. But I would play New Leaf like crazy. It kind of died down a little bit in the fall, because I think I was transitioning more into Smash Bros. 3D. But I would still play. Holy cow. That is a fast balloon. Goodness gracious. But Smash Bros. 3D, that was really something that took up my time, if I'm remembering the years correctly. Don't remember for sure when that came out. I think it was 2013. Maybe it was 2014. I can't remember for certain. No, because the 3DS version came out before the Wii U, right? The Wii U version, I mean. I can't even remember anymore, but I want to say Smash 3D took up a lot of my time. But I would still come back to it every so often and just play around a little bit more. But I would say around 2018 is actually when I started focusing on 2017, 2018 through 2019 is when I focused a bit more on getting all my badges, because by the time that Welcome Amiibo update came out, I was just kind of bored with the game. I would still play it every summer, because I feel like that was the best way to spend the summer nights. Just going to club tournament. I don't think I played a whole lot during the day during the summers, but at night I would just like meeting people at club tournament. It was just a whole lot of fun. I still wonder why Nintendo removed that from New Horizons. But then 2017 through 2019 come along, and I start focusing on getting more of my badges. And for the Street Pass badge, what I did was every single day, I had two other 3DSs, and I think I had copies of Animal Crossing New Leaf on both of them. I don't remember how exactly. I think one of them had digital, and one of them I used my other copy for, once I got the Welcome Amiibo physical. So I would just keep tagging them every single morning, and eventually, one fateful day, the Street Pass badge finally came up, and I think that might have been the last one I had to get. Either that or the catching, what was it, 5,000 bugs or something? No, I think it was the fish one fish one might have been what I got last. I don't even remember anymore, but I hated getting the fishing ones, because I'm just not a big fan of fishing, like in real life or in Animal Crossing. Even Harvest Moon, it's not very fun. And I love the Harvest Moon games. Actually, looking forward to Grand Bazaar. Little side note there, but those badges, I was just OCD towards them. I had to get them all, and eventually I did, and that is sort of when New Leaf felt complete to me, because I had done all the, what was it, the HHA challenges, where you had to decorate your entire house and exterior based on something, I think. Was it your exterior too, or just interior? I can't even remember, but I did those challenges, got my house all gold, but that was before I got all the badges, so once I got all the badges, I just felt really complete with that game, and I was like, I'm probably gonna stop dedicating my time towards this, because it was just getting to be a lot, and I wasn't really having as much fun as I used to in the day, which is unfortunate, but it was a sort of burnout, I suppose. But New Horizons was coming out, and I think, was this around the time Pocket Camp was coming out? Or Pocket Camp was already out, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember getting that, and a little side note here on Happy Home Designer. I got that the day it came out. I think I beat it in a day or two, and then just sort of never touched it again, because you guys have probably seen by my well, if you watched before, by my first Happy Home Paradise video, when all the comments were like, "Your houses suck" and stuff like that. That is true. I'm not the biggest fan of designing. I just more so like everything else in the game, besides designing and terraforming. So Happy Home Designer, I just kind of skimmed through Happy Home or Pocket Camp, not Happy Home Pocket Camp, just Pocket Camp. Pocket Camp I did put some time into, not a whole lot, but I think I was around level 100, level 150. When exactly was this? I don't even know, but 150 is the highest level I think that I reached, whatever level I was when I started Pocket Camp Complete. I don't even remember, but I did put quite a bit of time into that. I didn't play a whole lot during the events, which I regret now and hope they never do any sort of exclusives for the actual games that come from Pocket Camp. I know in New Horizons we did get some furniture, but thankfully all you needed was Pocket Camp. You didn't need to do any certain events or anything. And it was cool that New Leaf kind of incorporated that as well. Um, so, New Horizons, I did pre-order, and for whatever the reason, with GameStop, you actually have to go to their store to get the pre-order bonus. It doesn't come in the mail, which is really stupid in my opinion. Because why would you want to go to the store for a pre-order? You can just have it mailed to you. And it came a day late, I think. I think it came the 21st, or maybe it was the 20th. I don't even remember when I started that, but I did end up playing a lot of New Horizons with Steven and Cody. And I do have burnout from New Horizons because I played it so much. Did a lot of videos on it back in the day, but it's nice to get back into these older Animal Crossings, and I do want to do the, probably not a playthrough, but just some videos in general on the GameCube version, maybe the Nintendo 64 version as well, because that is not region locked, which, if I can get a hands on Animal Forest, then I would gladly play it, although I would probably not understand a single thing, so maybe I'd see if there's like some sort of patch or something you can do for that, but the GameCube version is probably going to be more likely. I actually did see a copy of it at one of the local game stores around here, and it didn't have a manual, and it was $50, so I was not going to take that deal, because I would want a version with the manual, and I am willing to probably spend a lot of money to get a new copy of a game that is ancient, like, for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, when I imported that from Japan in 2012, I think that was like 50 something bucks. Now, granted, that's probably not the greatest amount of money anyone's ever spent on a new copy of a game, but I would go to certain lengths to get new copies of stuff because I just like the things that have only really been opened in my hands, you know? One other little thing I do want to talk about is, excuse me, Welcome Luxury. I did really enjoy that game, but I just kept having so many issues with it, whether it be my 3DS just, excuse me, got the hiccups, randomly losing the save file, or just my old laptop not really being able to handle it. Granted, this laptop probably can handle it, but I don't think I have the patience to do an Animal Crossing playthrough anymore. Unless it's City Folk in that case. Still, it would probably have to be something like a video a week. Just because when I did try doing City Folk and Wild World playthroughs, I just couldn't. I just lost my interest so quickly. Which is weird that Harvest Moon keeps my interest in story seasons, but I think because those are more story based some of the time, that might be part of the reason. But I just don't think I can do a playthrough of any of these old ones anytime soon. I just gotta get the sort of burnout stuff gone. Because every now and then I do have some creative spurt, and then once I actually get on like New Horizons or something, then it's just like, oh yeah, I don't really like playing this too often anymore. It's weird that it happens so quickly with New Horizons compared to New Leaf. I think it's just because New Horizons is a bit more bland. I mean, they added terraforming, but not much else, you know. So that has kind of been my story with Animal Crossing thus far. Yeah, I think I've covered kind of everything that I really wanted to talk about in terms of Animal Crossing. I do still want to do a video regarding the Clipswarmer stuff. Oh, and another thing, I did like that new Leaf. They had those little thingies that you could go to Best Buy and like download an item to your new Leaf. I thought that was so cool. I mean, you did have to get out of your house to do so, and I would have to ask my parents, "Can we go to the Best Buy in another city?" Because for whatever the reason, our local Best Buy didn't have one of those. Was it Spot Pass or something like that? Nintendo Zone? I don't even remember. But our local Best Buy didn't have it, so we had to go to the one in another city, which is only like 20 something minutes away, but still, it was a little bit of an inconvenience for my parents. But thankfully, they would agree to go, so that was pretty cool. I was like getting the Nintendo Cent stuff, but I think that is finally everything that I really want to discuss in this video. Like I said, I do want to do a Club Tour video at some point. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about regarding the Animal Crossing series, or if you just want me to play City Folk and just kind of talk about something, let me know. Let's see if I can hit this one before I end the video off. Holy crap, why is it flying so fast? Oh my gosh, I don't know if there's a bridge over here. Oh no. Okay. Shoot. Okay, I don't like this game. Um, anyways, that is going to do it for this video. Just like I said, let me know if there's any particular things you want me to talk about, Animal Crossing related, Nintendo games related, Scooby-Doo, Kingdom Hearts, whatever the case. And if you want to play City Folk next time, or if you want to play New Horizons, New Leaf, because I can handle like 20 minutes or so of New Horizons, but gotta remember how you save. I think you have to go to your house. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video, and I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day.